going on, guys? Liam here, and today we're going over round 12 of the 2023 NRL season. Tips, predictions, all the team stats, and also giving away a KO $50 gift card. Thank you, KO, for that one. And I'll show you how you can win that in just a couple minutes. And the reason why I'm giving this away is we've hit it. We hit that 1,000. We're up to 1,070. We're killing it out here, man. So to reward you guys, I'm going to give that back. For anyone that doesn't know, my last TikTok account was pretty big, and some pretty big brands were approaching me to give away stuff and give away cash and stuff like that. So I do all right for myself, so I don't really need the cash. I'm just here to talk rugby and NBA and MMA and all that sort of fun stuff. So anything I get from these big companies, I'm giving to you guys, man. So make sure you sub to stay up to date. I'm sure they'll start rolling in now that the accounts are building back up and stuff. So I'm super excited for that, guys, and doing tip and comps and all this sort of fun stuff should be pretty good over the coming seasons, man. It's fun. I'm loving it, man. And I gave away one of these on my TikTok last time. You can check out my TikTok if you're following me here and not on there. It's just in my on my page here. So heaps some pretty cool stuff should be happening this year, man. I'm pretty excited. I'm excited. All right, let's go over these games real quickly, and then I'll show you guys how you can win that one. So in this video, we'll go through all the games really quickly, and then we'll go into each game a little bit more in a little bit more depth and give my predictions and stuff like that. All right, so we have. Oh wow, oh that's cool. They've changed all the names to Aboriginal land names. That's really cool. That's a good touch. Good on you, NRL. That's really cool. Nice touch. What a cracker to kick the wet round off. Broncos, Panthers. Then we have Dragons, Roosters, both struggling. Then we have Bunnies flying high, taking on the poor old Eels. Been getting slaughtered. Look at that, 14th. They're in the grand final last year, man. Come on. Sharkies, Knights. And apologies too, I would not be able to pronounce these names. So I'm just going to call them by their mascot names. My apologies. I won't butcher your language to all my Aboriginal brothers and sisters out there. West Tigers versus the Cowboys. We've got the Dolphins versus Storm. We've got the Bulldogs versus the Titans. And we have the Raiders versus Seagulls. Some pretty good games here. Not too pretty good matchups here. So it should be pretty damn exciting. Now, how are you going to win this bad boy? You're going to get your hands on it. A couple months of free KO. How good. Don't have to listen to Channel 9. Don't have to listen to Andrew Johns, talking about Schuster's soft hands and talking up players if you don't want to. No, I like Andrew Johns, but he does rave on about the same players too much. So essentially what you're going to do is you're going to like this video, make sure you subscribe, guys, and then in the comments drop down who you think's going to win each game, and you also have to give the margin. So, for example, Broncos 1-12, St George 13+, Bunnies 13+, Knights 1-12, Tigers 1-12, and just put that in the comments, guys, and whoever gets the most, it's going to win it, man. It's going to win it. And if it's a tie, which I don't think it'll be because it's extremely hard, I don't know, maybe we'll have a battle to the death or something. I'm not too sure, but we'll work that out as it comes, guys. We'll work it out. We'll work it out. And if you both get like 8 or 6 or more, I might just give you one each. You never know. I'll just be that impressed. All right. So mine, actually, because I'm going to go through these, I won't give mine, but. Yeah, Panthers 13+, St George 1-12, Para 13+, wishful thinking. Sometimes it is good to pick, not do all favourites because that's what everyone does. Sometimes it's what I used to do with these things. I would sort of pick the favourites for these first 4 or 5, and then when I get a little bit lower, I might take an outsider to be different. You know what I mean? And then if that outsider hits, man, you're the sole winner. You win the round, sort of thing. So. That's how I'd attack it anyway. But what do I know? Let's have a quick look at the ladder, guys. So Rabbits, damn, flying high. Actually, we'll just get into the games. Who cares? Who cares? We'll have a look at the ladder and the recap videos. All right. So Broncos, Panthers. Now, big out, obviously. Team lists. Adam Reynolds is out. Massive out. But having said that, I just finished a TikTok video saying I don't think. Like, everyone's just completely written off the Broncos, and the Broncos are paying $3.10. They've got longer. I genuinely think the Broncos can win this game. Now, I don't think they're going to win this game, but I genuinely think they do. Like, let's not forget, last week Reynolds wasn't there. He got knocked out in, the 12th minute? It was pretty early in the game. Pushed Melbourne with 3 sin bins in Melbourne. This game's at home. Penrith have been a little streaky. Don't forget too, guys, Penrith lost to the Tigers 2 weeks ago, and they didn't have Bateman or Dewey. Like, they're not unbeatable like they used to be. But having said that, I do think they're the better team. I do think they get the job done still. But yeah, Penrith are, you know what I mean. They're gonna lose some games this year. Like they could still easily win the minor premiership. They could still easily win the premiership. But I don't think they're gonna do last year where they literally lost like 3 games all year. I think they might lose a couple. But to be honest, with I think they've found their man though to fill in for Kikau. It's Scott Sorensen last week. He last week's game from Sorrow. I don't think I've seen Kikau play that good. Honestly, that was better than I've ever seen a performance from Kikau. Kikau looks damaging and he does a lot of cool stuff and he's untackleable one-on-one and stuff like that. But Sorensen last week was absolutely magical. Like, he was so damn good. All right, so these teams have already played. Broncos got the dub there. Now, I've checked the weather, and I'm telling you, Penrith are not great in the wet. They're really not. And every loss they've had this year, including the World Cup Challenge, has been in rain. Tigers game was in rain. They're just not that great in the rain. Go figure. When you got the best kicker in the game, best halfback in the game, in my opinion, you know what I mean? They should be better in the wet, but maybe he's not the best halfback. No, he is. But yeah, so touch up last year, obviously, and Broncos really don't want to touch up. Just on the ladder, obviously, look, their for and against isn't bad at all, but let's say they do get a 40-point touch up and this drops down to 40. You know what I mean? They're sort of lucky in the sense that a lot of the teams below 5 actually don't have very good for and against at all, but for and against can mean absolutely nothing or it can be everything. I'm pretty sure Parramatta made the top 4 last year because of for and against. I think they were equal points with Melbourne from memory, but it's happened before. Like, teams have made the top 8 on for and against, they've made the top 4 on for and against, been on equal points with the team below them. So you definitely don't want to get hidings when you're missing players. It's very important that they try and keep this close because Sharks are going to rack up some big wins this year. You know Melbourne is too, so you definitely don't want to lose touch with these guys, but nitpicking here, obviously. All right, so Broncos form guide. 3 of their last 5, same as Penrith, but a couple big dubs here. Big dub here. Oh, that's right, they had 2 big wins before that, didn't they? Before the Knights one. Jeez, they've had some close ones. See what I mean, guys? They're not wrecking teams. They've only had 1 big win. I had people in my comments TikTok saying, Penrith won't lose another game this year. I'm like, bro. So 6 from 10 for Penrith, 8 from 11 for the Broncos. Points conceded, 282 to the Broncos, 194 conceded. Points scored for Penrith, 249, and only conceded 121 points in 10 games. That's pretty damn good. God damn. Completion rate, 76% for the Broncos. Completion rate, 81% for the Panthers. This has actually come up a bit. They were about 71% a little earlier in the year. It's actually really good now. These stats are starting to take a little bit more shape, and we can use them a little bit more now. At the start of the year, when they've only played a couple games, they're sort of pointless. But now we've got some pretty good data to pull. It's actually quite good. Tackle efficiency, both in the very high 80s. Now this one here, this is the one I need to look at. Average points scored for the Broncos, 25, and average points conceded, 17. That's actually not too bad. But then Penrith, 24 points scored to 12 conceded. That's incredible. That's really, really good. And that is why I'm tipping the Penrith Panthers. I do think they will hold Broncos to around this 12 to maybe even 17 point sort of thing, and I definitely think they can score more than 3 or 4 tries themselves. So yeah, I will be definitely tipping Penrith here. But like I said, if Broncos win this game, I'd not be blown away. I would not be like, oh my god, how did this happen? It's they're a good footy team, man. And Reynolds has a polished kicking game, but there's 16 other blokes out, 12 other blokes out there, that have to turn up, and that's why the Broncos have been good. It's not just Reno doing everything. All right, Roosters, Dragons. Damn, man, both teams struggling. Both teams looking for answers. State of Origin coming up. There's a lot of players in these two. Well, definitely in the Roosters that want to put their names up for selection and stuff. So both teams are going to want to show up, but. Man, the Roosters just probably on paper have the best team in the league and just can't quite put it together. It's been really strange. So they've already played this year. It was a really nice, close game, actually. It's good fun to watch. Last year? Yeah, they got a hiding, but look at these form guides for both teams. Pretty damn average, man. Pretty damn average. Like, when I did all my prediction videos for the start of the year, everyone had the Roosters winning the comp, and they've won 5 from 10. Damn, it's pretty nuts, man. Pretty damn nuts. Right, completion rates from both teams, both in the mid-70s. Tackle efficiency, so pretty damn bad. Pretty damn bad. It's funny, the difference between good and bad is only a few percent in this category, but you definitely want these 88 and up. You don't want to be missing nearly 15% of your tackles. You know, it's pretty bad, man. When you look at it like that, when you're like, oh, they miss 14% of their tackles, you're like, oh, that's not good. Play the ball speeds, very similar. Average points scored for the... Gee, these are horrible numbers from both teams. Average points scored for the Dragons 20 and average conceded 25. They're leaking 25 points a game. It's horrendous. Average points scored for the... They just can't score points. How can you not score points when you have Suoliti, you have Joey Manu, you have Teddy, you have... What's going on here? Average points conceded 22. Are you joking, Roosters? That's horrible. That is absolutely horrible. Wow, that's not good, man. These teams are both... This is what I'm saying. Roosters aren't... Like, they're intense. Like, they're not... It's not like panic stations, but when you look at these stats, you're like, what? Like, you look at these and it tells a very different story. They've got a lot of work to do, man. They've got a lot of work to do. And they better start working it out pretty damn soon, because they're about to lose. They're going to lose players to the rep team, for sure. And, and then it's not too far to finals after that. So, a lot of work for both teams. I am going to go the Roosters to bounce back, not because I think they're incredible. I just think the hook's gone now. It could go either way. It's funny. Teams sometimes respond really positively when a coach goes, but it can also go the other way. But yeah, I think a lot of the Dragons players just don't even want to be there. Their body language is so poor. But like I said, I think Ben Hunt's the only guy trying out there. It's pretty hard to watch, to be honest. They've been my least favourite team to watch this year. They've just been awful. And again, I actually had a few Dragon supporters. I said that last time. I said how bad they've been, but I said, guys, I'm not picking on you. I like you, but yeah, I am not picking on you. I do like you, but yeah, it's been bad. It's not St George the team I don't like. It's some of their players are just... Some of their body language is just like, do you literally want to play rugby league for a living, bro? Because there's plenty of young bucks that will happily take your spot. All right. Oh, man, poor old Para. Losing players too. Losing Sean Lane, who I think was the best second roller last year. Sometimes this happens to you, man. It's just not your year sort of thing. And I'm not going to write them off. They got Mitchell Moses back. Anything like that. There's still a long way to go. And I've seen enough from them to not write them off, but they need to find something real quick, and it's these guys here, these outside backs, that need to find something, because Junior Paulo's playing great. I think this Wiremu Greg's been filling in and being great. I think Hopgood's has been brilliant. I think this Hands guy, Ryan Madison's been back, been going pretty damn good, and you know what I mean. They've got players in there. They've looked really good at points in the team. Like, that's the difference between them and the Roosters. I think I haven't really seen anything from the Roosters where I'm like, fuck, all right. But isn't it funny? They're ahead of Parramatta by quite a long chunk. But I've seen some patches from Parramatta where they've looked brilliant, but nowhere near as brilliant as this team right here. They are absolutely looking like world beaters. In my opinion, they're the team to beat this year. And look at, Jesus, when was that? August? I don't remember that game. 26-0. Do not remember that game. But anyway, Bunnies have had their number last couple of times quite convincingly. Form guide, it's just all dubs. And then, well, I was going to say all L's, but definitely not. Wins this season, 4 from 11. Jesus. I think Parramatta need a bye. They really need a bye. Just to regroup, get some training in, do some work. And I don't know when they get a bye. But yeah, they need one. They definitely need one. Yeah, they definitely need a bye. Hopefully they have one soon. And they can get on top of all their stuff, work out their combinations properly, and have a minute to rest their mind and stuff like that. That's what I really think they need. And how good Bunnies are going, have looked in the last 5 or 6 games is just I could just talk about that for a whole episode, but anyway, completion. But this is definitely one thing they could work on. Completion could definitely be a little higher, but they've had a couple stinkers with the ball. They had a couple games. I remember they played the Roosters and they dropped. I think they completed at 61% in that game, so that definitely needs to be better. Parramatta, I mean, it's around the same. They're at 74%, but they've had a couple just games where they just had terrible with the ball, and I can't remember if it was last week or the week before, where they literally hadn't dropped a ball till about, I think it was the very end of the half. I think it might have been against Canberra, and they hadn't made an error, and then they made like 2 or 3 in the last 5 minutes, and then they made another 2 or 3 in the next 5 minutes after the half, and I was like, what is going on? Parramatta last year had a really high completion rate. Tackle efficiency definitely needs to improve for Parramatta, 86%, 88% from the Bunnies, pretty damn good. Again, I know there's only a couple percent difference, but it definitely makes a difference. All right, average points scored for the Bunnies, 24. Average points conceded, up there, right bang on, pretty damn close with the Penrith Panthers. And look, again, Parramatta haven't been getting hidings. This is the thing, and that's why I said I'm not writing them off. Like, they've actually got a positive for and against, and no one else does up until you get into 6th. So that sort of shows you that they're not far off. Like, look at the teams around them, minus 34, minus 95, minus 47, minus 90. Like, even the Roosters up in 10th, they're minus 65. So that's what I was saying. I'm not writing them off. I don't think they've been bad. Like, there's just something not quite clicking with them, and sometimes that can just change, So, but anyway, we'll have to wait and see, because they could get a dead set hiding this weekend if they're not careful. But I have this weird feeling in this game that Bunnies, and I am tipping the Bunnies, by the way, but I sort of have a feeling that Bunnies aren't really going to take this game really, really seriously, if that makes sense. I don't know why. I just feel like they're trying to peak for the end of the year as well. I don't think they're overly worried about winning every single game all the time by heaps, like being ruthless, sort of like Penrith were last year. I feel like they're genuinely just going to almost coast through, finish in the top 4 and then go to work. Then I don't know what's giving me that feeling. It's just, I don't know if it's body language or the way, just the interviews I've heard and the way they're talking about it. It seems like they're still working on their craft and stuff like that, which is pretty damn scary for the rest of the competition, because they're smoking everyone still. Wins at this venue, 33%. God damn. 43% for Parramatta. But yeah, this game I think could go either way, as far as a blowout or close. There's only 4 things that can happen. It's a blowout to Roosters, close to Roosters, blowout to Parramatta. But I think the blowout to Parra is off the table. I think Parramatta could jag it if they are a little off. They do get some luck with the calls, this, that and the other. Bunnies just sort of coasting in second gear. They looked in second gear to me against the Tigers last week, and they won 20-0. So, yeah, but I will tip, definitely be tipping the Rabbitohs here for sure, man, for sure. Sharkies, Knights. Now, Knights, it's hard for me to say because Kalen Ponga carved up in the second half last week, but he was pretty average. Everyone said, "Oh man, I put a bet on that Kalen Ponga wouldn't perform." So it's unders and overs for his match statistics, and everyone's like, "Oh, bad bet." I'm like, "Yeah, he carved up in the second half, but he was actually on." So the unders is under 40 points, and then he was on 15 for the first half. So it's not like he was killing it the whole game. It was a really good second half. But again, I'm not feeling him there. Still, Lockie Mirror's just starting to make a bunch of errors. Sharkies are just a tough team. His back 5 is just beast. And this kid here, man, he's something special. It is at Shark Park, yep. So let's have a look at the stats here. So Sharkies won their last game 38-16. They won their game before that 18-0. So definitely have the wood over them. Sharkies form guide's great, 4 from their last 5, and Knights 2 from their last 5. 3 losses in the middle there. So 6 from 10 wins this year for the Sharkies, 4 from 10 for the Knights. So yeah, Knights really aren't going to want to lose this game. This is starting to get close to that, not must win, but we really need to win this game. So let's have a look. Completion rates, 76%. Like Sharkies have had a few games where they've been a bit dodgy with the ball, so both around that 75% mark. Both tackling really well, both tackling in the 89% range. Play the ball speeds are both relatively quick. You want that around that 3.5 or below, so that's very, very good for both. Now, average points scored for the Sharks is 27 and average points conceded is 20. So Sharkies definitely want to get this down closer to 15. And average points scored for the Knights is 22 and average points conceded 24. So they're leaking points and these guys can score points. So I'd go on overs on this game, I'd say. I'd be going overs for sure. So, we'll have to wait and see with this one. But I'm hoping Sharkies can wins at this venue 2 from 2, 0 from 0 for the Knights. Damn, it's a bad record. It should be 100% win rate, right? They haven't lost. But I'll go Sharkies. I think they're a little too strong. And Ueli he's been included, but isn't named in the team. But if Ueli comes into this team, I don't know if Royce Hunt goes back to that bench. They could get I love Kafusi too. He's back as well. So yeah, that could get messy. But yeah, I think Sharkies will win this one. I think they could win well as well. Like, I'm not saying they're going to, but I definitely think they could put 13 plus on the Knights here. West Tigers, second hottest team in the NRL versus the Cowboys. Now, a few people said like they touched up the Roosters, and then who'd they beat last week? Was it the Dragons? Yeah, the Dragons. So they looked really good against the Roosters, but I was like, were the Roosters just bad? That's a little bit what I was worried about. I'm like, maybe the Roosters were just terrible. Then they backed it up with a win against the Dragons. And I watched that game very closely because I wanted to see, are they back or are they, were the Roosters just awful? And I saw patches of how they looked last year, but not the whole game. Definitely not for 80 minutes. They were still pretty poor at certain sections of the game. So that I would definitely say they're not back, but they're definitely on the right track. They looked in patches really, really good. They're travelling to the Tigers. Tigers are just, they're scraping and clawing for every damn win they can possibly get for the rest of this year. They know they're not playing finals footy, but there's a lot of guys in that locker room that their jobs are on the line. You know what I mean? Like, if you get rejected or cut from the Tigers, you're not getting another NRL spot. Like, probably not. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're getting cut and dropped and moved and, did not play, so that's a basketball term, but, left in the reserve, sort of thing, and not getting fielded in the Tigers, your career's probably over. So there's guys here, they're looking to perform every week as hard as they possibly can. So, they're going to scrape and claw, and I think this could be a close one. I genuinely think the Tigers could push them here. Let's have a look at the team stats. Let's see how they're trending, because Tigers have been really good the last three. I genuinely think that they went set to set with the Bunnies there for 60 odd minutes. I do, like I said, I think the Bunnies were a little bit in second gear, and I do feel like they were just sort of waiting for their moments, not playing stupid and stuff like that. But West Tigers didn't look outmatched. You know what I mean? Like, they looked pretty damn good. So if they stick to that game plan, like sort of what the Dolphins have done, just hang in games, they'll jag games. They will. It's just, if you complete high, kick to corners, do all the boring stuff we don't want to hear about in interviews, you'll jag games here and there. It's fine. You know what I mean? Like they hung in there. I think it was 10-0. And, it was 30, 40 minutes in. And, man, if someone does a hip drop all of a sudden and they're down to 12 men, you know what I mean? Like, you get what I'm saying? If you're in it and the score's not blown out, you're not doing stupid stuff, someone does a high tackle and gets sent off, all this stuff, there's a lot of variables that can come in if you just hang around and don't play stupid. So, Tigers, I think, have been really smart, and they just stripped it back, started playing like the Dolphins had been, and it's been good. It's been really good. All right, but that doesn't look good. But, definitely the form guide, definitely looking better for the Cowboys. This had looked atrocious a few weeks ago. But, both teams, like I said, Tigers are the new second hottest team in the NRL. All right, so let's have a little look-see. 5 from 11 wins for the Cowboys, and they've scored 207 points and conceded 241, so not great. Completion rate, so this is jumping up a little higher. This was very poor 4 or 5 weeks ago. So good to see that. So has the Cowboys. This was lower too. So this is starting to creep up, this number here, which is good. Average points scored for the Tigers, 13. Average points conceded, 22. Again, this is actually improved, believe it or not. And average points scored, average points conceded for the Cowboys is 18 to 21. So still negative there as well. So neither team, they're still both teams still have work to do. Is pretty much what I'm saying. Wins at this venue, 54%. Wins at 2 from... Well, damn. Man, you know what? I'm tipping the Tigers to get this one, man. I'm tipping the Tigers to jag this one. With zero confidence, but I'm going to do it. In fact, I'm going to even slap some money on the Tigers at $2.35. Might give them a little head start. Might give them a 3.5 point head start to get that down to about $2. And we'll see how we go, eh? But yeah, go the Tigers. I'm backing you. Alex Twal will score a try as well. All right, Dolphins. Coming off a bye. Damn. Where's the Storm? Let's have a little look at here who they... I'm really pissed they didn't pick Val Meninga again. Let's see how good the Dolphins are going. Mark Nichols, the GOAT, literally can't get a start. That's fucking crazy. Val Meninga, the new hottest thing in the NRL, can't get a start. Let's see how good the Dolphins are, man. All right, let me just quickly check the Storm team. Unchanged. All right, Nelson, Harry Grant, Reece Walsh, Christian Welch, Loretto. I thought he was pretty good last week. Loretto, Els Katoa, cool. I think they should definitely do what they did last week and put Nelson back to the bench and start Big Tui. But yeah, so I'm gonna tip the Storm here. It's up in Brizzy too, man. I might even go watch that game. Look at that form guide, exactly the same. Damn. But nah, this will be a bit of a game. Who can out-boring each other? They're both probably going to play pretty conservative and pretty boring. And then Munster will do his... I'll predict it. It's going to be a relatively boring, low-ish scoring game. And then Munster's going to weave some magic. Munster and Harry Grant are going to combine and take the win. That's what I'm predicting. Both 6 from 10. Who would have thought the Dolphins would have the same win-loss record as the Storm? 12 rounds in. It's absurd. I know I didn't. And I predicted the Dolphins to suck this year at the start of the year, and people were like, I was like, bro, I'm stoked I was wrong. I didn't want them to be bad. I want the NRL to be successful, and how that happens is new teams have to do well. We can't have these new teams sucking. So I'm happy to be wrong. Look at that. Look at this. Completion rate, same as the Melbourne Storm. Tackle efficiency, same as Melbourne Storm. Points scored, 24 to 23. So yeah, they've just been squeaking home. It's pretty similar. Like, they both scored 1 point more than they concede. This is pretty nuts, man. I never thought 12 rounds in I'd be comparing the Melbourne Storm and the Dolphins and saying they have pretty similar stats. That's pretty fuck. Wow. Man, never been so happy to be wrong, I'm telling you. Alright, wins at this venue, 60%, 3 from 5. Damn. They win 26 from 34, 76% win rate at Suncorp, Melbourne Storm. Jesus Christ. That's so good. Melbourne Storm just continue to amaze me. Melbourne to win. Alright, Doggies, Titans. Both teams struggling a little bit. Doggies in particular sitting 15th. They need a dub. And Titans, they lost last week? Yeah, they did. But yeah, Titans have been showing a lot of fight, but at the end of the day, they are, like they're in ninth, but they're in that patch where they drop a couple games in a row and you can drop like 5 spots. So they definitely would want to win here. And in all seriousness, I don't think they're going to, but Doggies need to stay. If they start losing games and, like, let's say Dragons find a solution and they start winning, because Dragons have good players. Like, it's just they're not playing as a team and not trying. If Dragons start winning some games and Tigers start winning games, Doggies would want to start winning some games. Otherwise, they could get the spoon. I don't think they will, but Parramatta better be careful too, to be fair. Yeah, so definitely. Yeah, this is the thing, like, there's been all this talk about the Doggies and all this recruiting and Gus and this and that and all these changes, blah, 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 You know, you don't want to do all that and go backwards. You know what I mean? Like, even if it's sometimes you do have to take a step backwards to take 2 steps forwards. But I think if they finish 15th and down, where'd they finish last year? 13th or something? Like, you want to at least finish 13th again, because you can say, all right, we got a lot of injuries, we're building, whatever, we're going to be better next year. But you don't want to drop a bunch of spots, because remember, every other team's going to try and get better and recruit and do all the good stuff as well. So yeah. Now this game, right now I have no idea who I'm going to pick. So I'm going to check the stats and strictly take my pick from the stats. All right, let's go. So Doggies got the dub last time. Was that this year? No, that was last year. They only played once last year and once the year before that. Both very high scoring games. Well, not really. If that was a high score, it would be. But yeah, so form guide, damn, not great from the Doggies. 1 of their last 5. Jesus Christ. 4 from 11. Damn. Yeah, they definitely don't lose this one. Actually, just give me a quick look at the team list again. Jaden. I'm telling you, if AJ Brimson was in here, I'd just about give him a dub. I've actually been pretty impressed with Tanner Boyd. So, yeah, Kieran Forney's playing. Followaker's definitely playing. Isaac Liu. Cool. Yep. All right. We got it. All right, let's have a look at these stats. All right, completion rate 75 to 76, pretty similar. Effective tackles 87 to 86. Average points scored 17 from the Dogs. 25 points conceded for the Dogs. At least the Titans are scoring points. They're conceding plenty too, but at least they're scoring them. Let's have a look at these forward packs. Max King, Tabita. Jesus Christ. I think their middles are going to rip through them, eh? That's a big mismatch, the middles. Tavita Pangai Jr. Like, no offense to Tavita, but you don't want him to be your best forward. Like, Tavita's good as a support act. You don't want him to be your best forward. Average play the ball speed, damn, pretty similar. Alright, it is in Doggies, 54. I'm going to go Titans. No, I'm going to go Doggies. I actually don't know who I'm going here. Jesus, this is tough. This is a tough game. What's the odds? Well, can they have the Titans? Yeah, I think their forward pack's going to rip through them. I think they're going to get so many easy meetings. Followaker, this dude right here, man. He's been outshining Tino, bro. I'm telling you, like, and Tino hasn't been bad at all. It's just like I just watched an NBA game, just watched the Joker, Nikola Jokic versus Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis shredded up, but Jokic shredded way harder. You know, like, this dude has been unbelievable. Like, he's been unbelievable. Honestly, they've probably been a top 5 prop rotation this year. They've been absolutely incredible. No one will give them that credit because it's the Gold Coast Titans, but if they were the Broncos starting too, that'd be all over the papers as the best starting rotation in the comp. But starting prop rotation in the comp, I don't think they are that, but that's what the papers would say. But they've been super underrated. Fodawaker, I've just been blown. Every game I watch, I'm just like, even his effort stuff, making cover tackles, and it's just, he's been brilliant. He's been absolutely brilliant. And oh man, big Fafita's has been absolutely incredible as well. It seemed the backs couldn't chase him down. He ran 95 metres to score a try. Come on, man. Yeah, I'm going Titans. I just talked myself into it. Going to Titans. 1 to 12, high scoring game, pick overs. Oh, this is an interesting one. Honestly, probably the second hottest team in the comp, the Raiders. To all my Raiders fans, man, I've been getting a lot of love. A lot of Raiders fans were saying, because I backed you. I said this team could finish top 4. I said they won 100% could. I said they got the easiest draw. It's hard to win in Canberra in the middle of winter. They've got a great team, and now Jackie's last year. They're going to be just playing every game like it's their last. They're here to play, man. This dude's been a revelation at fullback. Bit dicey at the start of the year, but he has turned into a genuinely good good fullback. He's been great. And check out that grin from Hopewadi. God damn, look at those teeth. That's a Colgate grin right there. Colgate grin. All right. Man, this is a tough game. this is the thing. Manly have a sick team. They've got Jake back. They're a much better team, but he's in at lock. I mean, back here, I'm pretty sure, 4 rounds ago, they were sitting second or third. Like, they've just absolutely fallen off a cliff. Lost the Titans, Broncos. Titans aren't a great team. They're good, but they're not a brilliant team. These two are top 4 teams, so it's not like they've been getting pumped by bad teams or anything, but damn. And look at this. They've won 6 games in the last 5. But no, I'm telling you, this Canberra team could make some noise this year. They really could. It was funny. I saw all Channel 9 are doing videos of how great they're looking, and they could finish in the 8. I'm like, bro, I've been saying this, man. I don't know. I couldn't believe everyone wrote them off. I'm like, they pretty much have the same team as last year, and they were red hot coming into the finals. They're good. They're good. Completion rate 78% to 76. Tackle efficiency 87% each. Points scored for Canberra Raiders 21, conceded 24. Obviously need to tidy this up. So this is the thing about the Raiders and the problem I had with them. Even when they were playing Parramatta in their last game, I bet on Parramatta. Every time Canberra, like when they played the Bulldogs maybe 2 weeks ago, I believe at Magic Round, they looked unbeatable for about 15 minutes, and then they'll just let 2 tries in. Even if they're against a run of play or something like that, they just let random tries in. It's really bizarre. So, like, no lead is safe with them. Like, I remember they were winning 12-0 against the Doggies. They were just all over them. Then I can't remember if they lost the ball over the line, but they nearly scored a try. And then Doggies just, like, scored 2, just try. Like, it was like, what the hell? Like, how did that happen? You were dominating for 25 minutes. And then at the half, they're up by 4 or something. I was like, what the... It was crazy. And I think they ended up winning the game by 4 points or 2 points. So yeah, I don't think this will be a 1 to 12 either way. And I'm gonna go Raiders. Up the milk. Make it chalky milk. I had strawberry milk for the first time. Well, not the first time. Since I was a kid the other day. It was so damn good. I don't know how people don't drink dairy. Jog on, mate. Jog on. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna go. Look, let's have a quick look at the team list. So, Tom's obviously there, but he's literally playing at 50%. Schuster's back. It'll be interesting to see how he goes in his bounce-back game. Paseka's been good, especially in his second stint. Kepi, I don't like him. He's so good for an error and a penalty. I'd much rather Jakey in there. I know they lost, what's his name? Did they lose again? Josh Alaa, who normally plays a lot. But, I don't know, surely they could find someone else. Or, this guy, who would probably be one of the better locks in the game if he played there. But anyway, yeah, so... Yeah, I'm going the Raiders, man. I'm trying to convince myself that Manly's going to get a win here, but I'm going Raiders for the 7th win in a row. Jesus, where would that put them? If the Raiders win this, so they're 14 points, they'll jump up to 16, which is what the top 2 teams are on. But obviously other teams will win games, but I don't think Dolphins win this game, so they could jump the Dolphins this week. I don't think Sharks can lose either, but I mean, if the Panthers do lose, they're probably not going to move up a bunch of spots even if they win, but they'll definitely could gap a few of these teams. Definitely. So these 2 teams are playing each other, so if they win, they're going to jump one of these 2 at the very least. But on their way, man, I told you, Smokey. That's what I did in my preview video. I said they were paying heaps to finish in the top 4. And now they're a game out. Jesus. That awesome call, actually, that awesome call probably makes up for how bad my call was on the Dolphins. So I made one awesome call, one horrible call. What do you do, man? I'm batting 500. One win, one loss. That's it, guys. I'm not going to ramble on any longer. Thank you all so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.